All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this has become an annual presentation that I do about this time every year. And it is a presentation that I do for a lot of people that I meet at the Mid-Michigan Women's Expo, which was actually this past weekend. And it's an introduction to help people understand the power of essential oils. And so if you are already using essential oils, if you are already, incorporating Young Living into your life, hopefully you will get some really good, powerful information out of this, because this is a big topic. It is a big topic no matter what time of year. So we're going to be talking about the immune and the respiratory systems. And I'm not going to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. That's not what I'm talking about. I want to talk about being proactive in your health and lifestyle techniques, certain products that can help you stay well, because once a problem happens, it takes a lot for your body to fight it. So let's be proactive and stay ahead of the game. So who am I? So my name is Allie Phillips, and I am an attorney with a health and wellness business. So I have been an attorney. I'm still licensed, and I've been an attorney for 28 years, specializing in criminal prosecution. I have spent most of my career, well, actually, I've spent all of my career in the criminal justice field in criminal prosecution. And I've spent a majority of that as a public speaker, teaching throughout the US and internationally on my specialties, which are family violence and animal abuse and how they link together, as well as best practices in criminal prosecution when it comes to family violence, child abuse, and animal abuse cases. So fun stuff. Now you know why I'm working with oils all the time. In fact, I'm just going to reach around and just grab an oil off my shelf. I'm a published author. I also run a nonprofit that I founded called Sheltering Animals and Families Together, where I help domestic violence shelters create on-site pet housing. If you have some oils, it would be good to oil up while we get started here. I just put some gratitude on. I'm very grateful that you all are here. So I started Manifested Harmony, my healing business, in 2011. So I'm coming up on my 12th anniversary, which is crazy, because I have been talking with a lot of people interested in healing, and sadly, too many healing businesses are not successful. And I am hoping to change that for people, because we need more healers in the world. We need more natural practitioners in the world. So I am very thankful that I have been able to flip this to my full-time career. I'm a certified health coach. I'm a master teacher, energy healer in, I've forgotten how many modalities. I teach a lot of classes because I like to empower people so that you do not have to rely on anyone for your health and wellness. It's in your hands, and that's what I like to do. I'm also a Young Living brand partner and a certified health coach, and I'm the author of The Oily Crystal and The Oily Pet. If you have not gotten yours, I'd recommend getting them. I am actually out of the Oily Crystal book. So today I am formatting a new cover before I send it to the printer. So there's going to be a brand new cover, probably on both books. I'm going to do a brand new cover, but the content is still the same. So, all right, let's dive in. And as I said, if you have questions, type them in the chat and I will answer as we go along. So, all right, I like talking about the immune system and the respiratory system together, especially in winter, because they go hand in hand, right? So we are surrounded from even before we're born, we are surrounded by bacteria and viruses. So what's the difference? So with a bacteria, bacteria can reproduce on their own without a living host. They don't need us to survive. They can survive on a surface. They can survive in extreme heat and cold. And most bacteria are harmless, and some are actually very helpful. We have good bacteria in our body. We also have unbeneficial bacteria in our body. And it's important to keep a good balance. Fewer than 1% of bacteria actually cause a disease. But when a bacteria runs amok, that's when antibiotics can help. Viruses, on the other hand, antibiotics do not help with a virus. So viruses actually have a protein coat around them. And this is what soap can destroy. So this is why, in a post-COVID world, it's still out there, but it is now part of our reality. There was a big campaign, wash your hands, because soap actually destroys that protein coat, which then destroys the virus. Now, a virus can't survive without a living host. They need a human or they need an animal to latch onto in order to survive. What a virus does is it replicates in our body. It will come into our body, reprogram cells to make more of the virus cells. So that's not good. That's not good at all. And viruses are very specific in what they attack. So COVID went after the respiratory system. There are some viruses that go after the heart. There are some viruses that go after the intestinal tract or the stomach. And like I said, antibiotics do not help. And, the two most prominent viruses that we're all dealing with are COVID and RSV, which came on the scene this winter in late 2022. It came in like a storm. All of these can impact our immune system and our respiratory system. So we actually have a super powered immune system. Now, what does that mean? We have an innate and an acquired immune system. So the innate immune system is what we're born with. We are born to fight infections. So we're like, Spider-Man, Superman, Superwoman. We are born that way. Okay? The acquired immune system is when our body learns how to protect itself over time. So it's never too late to strengthen and bolster your immune system. And this is where, when we're exposed to things, our body will naturally go on the defensive and start going after things. It's just like, I'm going to take you down with my little immune lasers. So our immune system is actually like a processor on a computer. If our computer gets a virus, it can crash the whole system, right? Have you ever had that? Where your computer or your phones, a virus gets in and it's gone. But if your computer has an antivirus program, your computer or your phone will live a long life. And that is exactly how our body is set up. It is set up to handle viruses and bacteria and diseases so long as we don't do something to mess with it. So our immune system protects our body from diseases, viruses, bacteria, parasites, anything that is coming in and trying to hurt it. And our immune system helps the body heal. When it kicks into full gear, that's the healing mechanism. So if we have a strong immune system, we can fight all these viruses and bacteria and diseases and parasites and you name it, we can fight it. We'll also have better energy, especially with like the lethargic feeling that can be felt when we're not feeling good. When we have a strong immune system, we will have better energy. But our lifestyle tends to destroy this antivirus program that is already built into our body. So I have to talk about autoimmune disease. So about 50 million Americans, about 20% of the population has autoimmune. It is exploding. It is exploding. There are over 100 autoimmune diseases and disorders, according to the American Autoimmune Related Disease Association. So I actually have 4, but I keep them under control because I'm very proactive in what I do. So one of the functions of the immune system is to actually protect our body by responding to invading microorganisms, such as viruses and bacteria. And our body will produce antibodies, or sensitized lymphocytes, which is a type of a white blood cell. So under normal conditions, an immune response cannot be triggered against the cells of our body. But in some cases, the immune cells make a mistake and they start to attack the very cell that they are meant to protect. This is a misfiring in that computer program that I talked about. And that's what leads to autoimmune. And autoimmune encompasses a broad category of diseases where your immune system is attacking your own tissue, your own cells, your own organs. So for example, I know a lot of people who have Hashimoto's or Graves' disease, which are thyroid autoimmune disorders. I was diagnosed with both. One is hyper, one is hypo. I was actually diagnosed with both. They are managed now without medication, without surgery, without anything like that. But what Hashimoto's and Graves' does is it attacks the thyroid. Rather than protecting it, it goes after it because the program is telling the immune system something's wrong. Go kill it. So it takes a lot to pull back from autoimmune. If you're interested in that information, I know somewhere on my YouTube page about probably 2 years ago now, I did a long video, probably a 45-minute video on where I was with Hashimoto's, Graves', stage 4 adrenal failure, all of this autoimmune, where I was 15 years ago and then where I am now. And I show you labs and I tell you exactly what I did. So go on to my YouTube page and just type in autoimmune or adrenal fatigue, adrenal failure, and it'll come up if you're interested in that. But here's the thing. Conventional medicine doesn't know how to address this. Okay? They're losing the battle. They don't know how to address it because it takes looking at the immune system in a holistic way. And it is important to focus on gut health. If you're dealing with autoimmune, you're constantly, going to need to focus on your immune system to make sure that it's balanced, okay? Sometimes you need to calm it down. Sometimes you need to strengthen it. And so, doctors that are focusing on gut health are making strides in this area because that's where the immune system is stored. So anti-inflammatory diets, testing and addressing hidden infections like yeast infections, Epstein-Barr disease, that's a big one. Testing for food allergies and celiac disease and doing elimination diets. Oh my word, I can't tell you how many elimination diets I've done. Because once you have autoimmune, it keeps spinning off into other autoimmune disorders. And so the best thing that you can do is really eat well to stop that domino effect. That's what you need to do. You may not be able to cure in the sense, but you can stop the cascade of the domino effect and start managing the symptoms naturally. And so elimination diets are really, really big because if you're eating food and your body's attacking it, it'll go after that spaghetti that you're eating, but then it's not going to stop. And it'll just start attacking the body. But also testing and detoxing for heavy metals, that's a big thing. So the doctors that are focusing on all those things and actually teaching how to eat properly, the tests that you need to run. Most conventional medical doctors don't run the appropriate tests because they don't have the access to run them. These are specialized tests. So, if this is you, I would highly recommend working with a board certified naturopath or a functional medical doctor to get the proper testing done, and it will really help. But when you can go on a clean diet and detox your body in your home, your body can start self-correcting. And I know that because it happened to me. So I absolutely know it can happen. And I'm going to give you some specific recommendations in a little bit. So now let's flip to the other category and talk about the respiratory system. So, you know, this time of year, I mean, it's February right now, viruses are flying through the air like crazy. They literally are in the air all the time, but they're worse now because we tend to get less sunlight in the winter, which lowers our immune system and makes us more susceptible. You know, people can get flu and pneumonia and bronchitis in the summer, you know, when it's nice and warm and sunny, but they're less likely to get it then and more likely to get it now. I mean, right now we're having an ice storm here in Michigan. It was gray and dark all day. We even joke here, for those of you who are here in Michigan, when the sun comes out, which is very rare in the winter, it's like this flaming ball of fire in the sky. And it's like, oh my gosh, what is that? It's burning my eyes because we don't get a lot of sun, and that lowers our immune system. So if you are in a state like that, if you're here in Michigan, you really got to bump up your immune system and your respiratory system. Otherwise, you could be more susceptible to viruses like flu, pneumonia, and bronchitis, COVID, RSV. There's also chronic respiratory distress that can happen. You know, people with asthma, you know, that's an inflammation of the lung airways. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, which is the intersection of chronic bronchitis, asthma, and emphysema. It's like that trio coming together. Lung cancer, you know, up to 24,000 American non-smokers die annually of lung cancer. 24,000 non-smokers. Okay, so what's going on? It's the toxic air that we breathe. Sleep issues, that can create respiratory distress. If you have snoring, if you have sleep apnea, that is respiratory distress. So your respiratory system is struggling when you breathe and you make breathing noises, either from your lungs or from your sinuses. When you cannot tolerate exercise, you know, you struggle going up and down stairs. When you don't have normal respiratory rate, when the doctor, you know, tests that. When you can't take a deep breath. Okay, on that note, grab an essential oil, put a drop in your palms. I want you to take a deep inhalation until you can't breathe in anymore. I want you to get this oil into the deepest recesses of your lungs, okay? All right, if you can do that for a count of 8, you have good, strong lungs. But you also know that your respiratory system is struggling when your lymphatic system is sluggish. Your lymph nodes are sluggish. You know, if you've got puffy eyes, you've got water retention, that is directly related to your respiratory system. Even adrenal stress from fight or flight is going to impact your breathing rate. Our emotions impact how we breathe. You know, anxiety creates very shallow breathing. So I have been doing a lot of social media posts. I've been talking to a lot of people for the last 3 days, because 3 days ago on March 13th, Michigan State University had a mass shooting, mass casualty incident. That is my alma mater. I live in Spartan territory. I literally live a couple of miles away, and I am peeved. As a former prosecutor, I am peeved, and I also have the healer brain. So I'm doing a lot of trauma releasing for people, and that sort of fear, anxiety, fright, terror, trauma creates very shallow breathing. And we live in a world where we just experience acute trauma all day long, all day long. That is the norm. I'm trying to help people slow down the fight or flight response and breathe deeply. And essential oils are the number one way, because we can't live like this. Okay. So how you feel emotionally will impact your breathing and create shallow breathing, which then weakens your lungs. You know, when we're empowered, we breathe very deeply and we feel stronger. So when you're breathing shallow, it's going to impact your health long term. But we also have the dangers in what we breathe. Pollution. I mean, all these trains with toxic chemicals are derailing all over the place. I just read where one just derailed in Detroit. It's like, what the heck is going on? So we've got pollution everywhere. Toxic cleaners in the home. Most people's homes are more toxic than the air outside because of the cleaners, the plugins, the aerosols, the candles, the wax warmers, the toxic scents, even the laundry detergent, the dryer sheets, where you can open up your linen closet and you still get that fresh, clean smell 30 days later. That is nothing more than a toxic chemical soup. And you're breathing it in every night. And then people wonder why they snore and they have sleep apnea. Get rid of the toxic products and let's see what happens. You know, most people that I find who are using these toxic products, on the label, it actually says, don't breathe this product. But yet they're using it in their home and it penetrates the lungs, the skin, the brain. So, I mean, homes have off-gassing. If you have a new mattress, a new piece of furniture, carpet, that off-gasses. You know, if you're using baby powder or mineral makeup that has talc in it, you're breathing that in every day, and that is a known cancer causer, according to several lawsuits and several multi-billion-dollar judgments. And then on top of that, you know, we have the emotions like deep grief. Oops. Deep grief. If it's prolonged, it's going to take up residency in your lungs. That's what happens with grief. Grief settles into the lung meridian. And if you want to know my grief protocol, go to my Instagram page and there's a highlight that says grief protocol, gives you everything you need to know. It's got oils, crystals, and affirmations for 7 stages of grief. But frankincense is a good initial oil to start with because energetically it pulls the grief energy out of that lung meridian. And then you follow it with inner child or joy once you've allowed the frankincense to work. But here, I got to go. I flipped the slides here. But our energy and our mindset can also impact our immune and our respiratory system. Like you can literally think and worry yourself into a lowered immune system, which then creates increased inflammation in the body. And inflammation will turn into disease. So what's interesting, Penn State did a study back in 2018 and found that negative emotions several times a day or for extended periods of time will raise the inflammatory markers in your body, which are connected to the immune system. It was in the Medical News Today magazine, and a very, very fascinating study about negative emotions. And our negative emotions come from thoughts. I can give a whole presentation on this. It's thoughts that we choose. That's the short story. Here's the bonus. You can change your thoughts. So if you are defaulting to negativity, you can change that. You just have to choose to. But when you can shift your energy, it can shift your immune system and your respiratory system. When you are stressed and fearful and worried and full of grief and you're focused on catastrophe all the time and you know you're catastrophizing everything all the time, everything is such a big deal. What do you think your respiratory system is doing? It's breathing very shallow, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. It's very panicky. It's sending your entire body into fight or flight, which is going to cascade that endocrine system, and it's going to start to collapse that. It's going to impact your hormones, and your immune system is going to be crap. So we have to shift our energy. You know, if you've ever studied Dr. Masaru Emoto, his water experiments, he actually researched and studied that when you write positive words on water bottles, it actually changes the structure of the water. I teach in my crystal classes how to safely put crystals in water, because that'll change the structure of the water and change the structure of your body. When you work with affirmations, visualization, journaling, like gratitude journaling, that shifts your energy. Watching happy, uplifting movies and television shows and reading uplifting books and having positive experiences, that shifts your energy. You know, healing your heart, working on your heart chakra and your emotions, that actually can help your immune system, because immune deficiencies energetically lie in the heart chakra. So if you're angry, sad, depressed, struggling with forgiveness, you've got to let it go. You've got to let it go. And you know what? We have oils to help you with that. Number one oil is the release oil. You know, meditating. You know, I play YouTube meditation music on my television all day long when I'm working, because it has immune boosting properties to it. You can play frequency music, solfeggio frequency music. You can play 8D music, which it's kind of like binaural beat music. It has immune boosting, and it helps you take a deep breath. Like I was doing a lot of work today, and I found myself taking these very deep breaths because the music was putting me in such a relaxed but focused state that I could take a deep breath. You also want to engage in earthing or grounding to the earth, because we are like a battery. We're a circuit. We need to ground that circuit into the earth. Now, right now, we're having a ice storm outside. Allie's not putting her feet on the ground. If you're a Michigander, you're not putting your feet on the ground. This is where you can take your tree essential oils, your grounding oils, stick them on the bottom of your feet. You know, take a bowl of warm water. I like to put crystals in the bottom, like amethyst. That's very grounding. I put some Epsom salt. I put grounding oil, and I soak my feet. Not only is it going to warm you up in winter, it's going to ground you and earth you. So these are things that you can do to shift your energy and your mindset, which will then impact positively your immune and your respiratory system. So, but now I want to talk about breathing essential oils. So, you know, when we breathe in a truly pure essential oil, not a fragrance oil, not an oil that has scary labels on it that says, do not ingest, do not topically apply, don't use with babies, don't use with pets. Something's wrong with those oils. They have been adulterated, and they're giving you a warning. Okay, so thank you for giving us that warning. I don't recommend using them in this way, because if you can't ingest or topically apply, why would you want to smell it? When you can smell a truly pure essential oil, the olfactory receptors in the brain are going to take in the oil, and the olfactory bulb deciphers it for you. So each oil is different. You know, citrus oils are very uplifting. Floral oils make us happy. You know, tree oils are very calming to the nervous system. And this is what the olfactory system is doing in our brain. It's taking the scent and deciphering it and telling our brain, do this, you know, calm down, or focus, or let's get some energy into your brain. So I have on the screen some oils that if you want to breathe in an oil and have it stay in your body the longest time possible, go for what's called a medium note. It's an oxygenated monoterpene. So these oils that are on the screen actually act like water, and our body is mostly water, right? Like 70% water. So what they do is they linger in the body. And that's what you want. You want oils that linger in the body. So, we got the aldehydes like lemongrass. We've got the alcohols like geranium. We've got the ketones, like spearmint and basil. We have the esters like lavender. And then there's a host of lots and lots of other oils that are on this list. And what is interesting is that these are commonly known as our emotional oils that help us with an emotional response, because there is a connection between breathing and emotions and our immune response and emotions. Isn't that interesting? I love this stuff. So, when you approach something that has caused you anxiety in the past, so maybe it's test taking or public speaking, or you're going to see somebody that you had a fight with, or they said something to you in the past and you haven't gotten over it, you cannot talk yourself out of it, because thinking about it already puts you in the parasympathetic response. You already got anxiety because of it. You cannot focus on positive thoughts during chronic stress, even during acute stress, because of the neural pathways that were previously created in your brain. But you can use oils to change that, to change the neural pathway. Okay, I want you to do a test. Okay, I want you to stand up. All right, I want you to stand up. Okay, I want you to take your right hand and I want you to point it straight out in front of you. Okay, and then I can't stand up because I have my headphones on, so I'm going to try to do this in my chair. All right, hand straight in front of you. I want you to keep your body straight, and I want you to take your arm and I want you to move it as far back as you can, keeping your frame straight. Okay, you know where that is? Okay, I want you to grab an essential oil. I want you to take 3 very deep breaths of the oil. So I've got gratitude here. All right. Okay, take 3 very deep breaths. Now do it again. Hand out in front of you. Your arm's going to go a lot further back. And what this demonstrated is the positive impact on the nervous system of smelling essential oils. So you may not have thought that you were stressed or anxious, but as soon as you smell any essential oil, it changes the nervous system and you're going to have greater flexibility. Okay, so the oil goes right to the amygdala and it inhibits the stress response. And when that happens, you can breathe deeper and more naturally. And, this is why breathing oils throughout the day, through diffusing or wearing them or direct inhalation, is so important. It's not woo-woo, it's science. We need to start hashtagging that. It's not woo-woo, it's science. All right, isn't that cool? I love that. All right, let's get into some lifestyle recommendations, and then I'm going to give you some products that I love. Love. All right, for lifestyle, these are all recommendations so that your white blood cells have saved enough energy to fight the enemy rather than fight your lifestyle. Okay, you do not want your white blood cells fighting your lifestyle. Okay, you want it fighting the invader. And one of my favorite phrases that I actually made up is, if you treat your body like a junkyard, you're going to get junkyard results. Don't treat your body like a junkyard. It's the only one you got. Okay, water. It keeps the organs flushed and the cells hydrated. So viruses enter through the mouth. And if you drink water every 20 minutes, it flushes your throat. So it can it can flush any virus before it really starts to take root. Water eliminates toxins. It's really important to drink filtered water because arsenic is an immunosuppressant. Lead in water. I mean, you want to drink the best purified water that you can. Live water has minerals in it. That's always good. And, you really want to drink half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh, 140 pounds, you want to drink 70 ounces of water a day. We have to keep our body hydrated, and that's going to help. Eating real whole food where you look at it and oh, this is a cucumber because it's in its natural form. So eating more phyto foods, these are antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. They help with cellular repair and they're immune boosting. So, berries, bell peppers, sweet potato, kale, eggplant, bok choy, cinnamon, turmeric, mango, onions, garlics, radishes, apricots. I mean, find the phyto foods and eat those. So I mentioned turmeric and mango. Young Living has a turmeric powder with mango in it. Do you think that's any surprise? Nope. Very beneficial. You want to avoid sugar and processed foods. Animal products have dioxins in them. So meat, milk, eggs, butter have dioxins, which can harm your immune system. So do your best to buy locally or to buy organic. You want to eat more omega-3s like salmon, walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, because that helps the immune system. Fermented foods help with enzyme production, which then helps you to break down the foods and get the nutrients. So you also want to work on detoxing your home and life. What you put on your skin can impact your immune system and your respiratory system. A lot of skin products, a lot of topicals have fragrance. Well, fragrance is a synthetic laboratory created toxic chemical soup. And if you're wondering why you're having respiratory problems, I'd be looking at that first and foremost. But it can also impact your immune system because the skin is our first layer of defense, and you don't need your body fighting your face cream or your toothpaste. So going all natural. Young Living has all the skincare products, toothpaste, all of that, all the bath and body products that you ever need. Okay. Cleaning your house naturally, so important, so that you're not breathing in the toxins of the products in the grocery store. I mean, that aisle at the grocery store, I almost gag when I have to walk down it just to get some paper towels. It's like I hold my breath, I run, I grab the paper towels, and I get out of that aisle. It's important that we clean our air naturally, because air pollution and smoke and fumes and cleaning solvents and infections, viruses can come into the home. Pollens can really impact our respiratory system. Just cleaning your air naturally with diffusing essential oils, getting rid of the toxic cleaners, the candles, the air fresheners, the plug-ins, all of that. Essential oils will naturally clean your air. Absolutely clean your air. Have an air filtration system. That's even beneficial. Washing your hands, that's important. Don't use antibacterial soaps. That was one of the worst things that could have happened to our health. We need to be exposed to certain bacteria and viruses so that our immune system can stay strong. Plus, the antibacterial soaps contain a lot of harmful ingredients. So I love Young Living's hand soaps. They have bar soaps, they have foaming hand soaps. Not only do they moisturize your hands, but you're getting essential oils on your skin, which is always beneficial. Smoking. I still know people who smoke, and it's not a judgment, but if you want to have a healthy respiratory system, work with somebody to kick that habit, okay? Kick that habit. It's amazing how the lungs can repair themselves when you stop filling the lungs with toxic chemicals. Avoiding sick people. I mean, that goes without saying. If somebody around you is sick, they need to isolate, they need to go into their bedroom. You know, if you live in the same house, because you want your system to be strong. And of course, you're going to be exposed to things, but you don't want to knowingly overtax your system. All right. Deep breathing is very important, because when you can breathe deeply, it de-stresses the nervous system, and it oxygenates your cells, and it clears your lungs. You know, we can't detox our body without enough air. You know, so, you know, make sure that you have proper humidity in your house. That's why I have diffusers going all the time in the winter. I never have to worry about humidity and it's cleaning the air. You know, breathe deeply several times a day, and it's actually going to give you energy. Add a drop of essential oil when you do it, and it's going to oxygenate your body. You know, the direct inhalation of oils for deep breathing it has so many benefits. That is something easy that we all can do. Getting good sleep. You know, if you're not getting good sleep because of snoring, because of sleep apnea, that's respiratory distress while you sleep, and poor sleep will impact your entire health. I mean, it's linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. I mean, good, natural, healthy sleep is important. One of my favorite sleep oils is frankincense, right on the brainstem and on the forehead. You will get good sleep when you do that. And then exercise, you know, moving, it creates good circulation, which then helps the immune system and the respiratory system. And yoga actually helps us breathe better. So, you know, in the winter, it's easy to be sluggish and go into this hibernation mode, but still keep trying to get your 10,000 steps in a day. You know, do what you can to keep moving. All right. So I'm going to talk about some essential oils. Oh, before I do that, I see a question. Can you talk more about which specific music I listen to, specific frequencies? So there's 9 different solfeggio frequencies. You can Google solfeggio frequency, and you'll find the frequencies and what they do. So it just depends on what I want to do. I tend to go for a pretty high vibrational frequency because of the creative work. Solfeggio is SOLFEGGIO, solfeggio frequency. But if you Google, there's 9 different solfeggio frequencies, and they all do something different for the body. Okay, one heals, one helps with focus, one helps with sleep, one is creative. So just Google that. But I love the solfeggio frequency music. It's amazing, and it's great to meditate too. All right, so I'm going to talk about essential oils, and the one thing that I tell people, no single essential oil or supplement is going to correct the body. It's not. It's a good start, but it's not going to do it. We need to give our body what it's asking for. Our body knows what it needs, and it knows what to do. So the question I get all the time is, well, Allie, how many drops of oil do I use? You know, how do I take this supplement? You know what? Stop overthinking it. It doesn't matter where you apply an oil. It doesn't matter if you're breathing it, topically applying it, or ingesting it. Just use it. Use it however intuitively you are being drawn to use it. I get asked all the time, well, how often? How often is ever? It's however often you want. Okay, this is not medicine. This is not take a pill, you know, once a day and call the doctor in 30 days. You use the oils as often as you want. There are some moments where I'm using an oil every 5 minutes until I find relief. Okay, can't overdose. Use them. Okay, just use them intuitively. You don't need recipes. Just use them. All right. Okay, let's talk about the immune system. Now, some people like supplements, some people like oils. I'm giving you a variety. So In the morning or during the daytime, I have 5 recommendations. There's a lot more than this, but these are the 5 that I like. So Ningxia Red, hands down. Everybody should be drinking Ningxia Red. Everybody should. It supports all 12 body systems. Very, very high in ORAC for antioxidant levels. And this is about natural energy, because low energy can mean that you have a compromised immune system. And honestly, if you have not been drinking Ningxia Red daily, give it a try every day for a month and then go off of it for a week and see how you feel. When I ask my people to go off it for a week, they don't make it that long. I get messages within 2 or 3 days just saying, Allie, I don't feel right. Like, I feel kind of sick, and emotionally, I want to throat punch somebody. It's like, get back on Ningxia Red. Okay. I've been drinking that I just had my 10-year anniversary with Young Living. I've been drinking that for 9 years. Okay. My cats drink it. It's totally safe. I also recommend Ningxia Greens. This is a powder that tastes really good. It mixes super great in water. It has 50 fermented whole foods, fruits and vegetables in it. It's like a better tasting, healthier version of V8. It has 5 varieties of immune supporting mushrooms. It's got the wolfberry fruit and sprouted leaves, all of which supports the immune system. You're going to feel great. It's got multigreens in it. If you've ever taken the multigreens capsule, it's in Ningxia Greens. So it's basically multigreens plus Ningxia Red with 50 fermented fruits and vegetables. Fermentation is amazing for the body because we can absorb it. It tastes really good. It really does. And you can mix it with a variety of things. Sometimes I mix it with our protein powder, the power meal replacement. Sometimes I mix it with MindWise or Ningxia Red, or on its own. It tastes really great. You want that. You want the Ningxia Greens. Mineral essence. So lack of minerals has a direct association with disease and a low immune system. So I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't taste good, but here's how you take it so that it tastes great. Put it in a glass of water and then put a squirt of any of the vitality drops. So we have the grapefruit bergamot vitality drops. We have the lavender lemon vitality drops. We have the jadeberry tangerine. I forget what the 4th one is. I like the bergamot grapefruit. You squirt that in with the mineral essence, you're going to feel like you're drinking a cocktail. It tastes amazing. That's how you take mineral essence. And those vitality drops have electrolytes and natural energy in them. So it's a win-win. Inner defense. Okay, this is basically thieves in a capsule. It reinforces the body to have a well-functioning immune system. It creates an unfriendly environment for yeast and fungus, which actually will wear down your immune system. So you want to get that under control. Inner defense can help. It promotes healthy respiratory function, and it's got thieves, oregano, thyme, and lemongrass in it. I have taken that every day since Halloween 2019. Normally, I would just take it from Halloween to Easter. Well, we all know what happened around Easter 2020. I have not gone off of it. Every day I take that. And then Master Formula. This is a full spectrum multivitamin that's absorbable. It's got a vitamin B complex. It's got a vegan vitamin D3, prebiotics. It's got turmeric root, herbs and veggies and plants and antioxidants. I mean, it's a powerhouse. That is a really good multivitamin and mineral to take. All right. Now, at any mealtime, you also want to take an enzyme. Young Living has a variety of enzymes. You got to figure out which one is best for you. You know, if you're reactive to food, you want to take Allerzyme. If you want to detox your body while you're absorbing food, take Detoxzyme. Essential Zyme is pretty much no matter what diet you eat. Same thing for Essential Zyme 4. There's lots of information online about what type of diet you have and what enzyme you should take. And At every meal, you should take an enzyme that's going to help your immune system. At bedtime, this is when you take your probiotic, either Life 9 or Mighty Pro, because if you're taking Inner Defense in the morning, you do not take a probiotic with it because Inner Defense is basically going to kill it. So take your probiotic at night, right before bedtime. You can, and you don't want to take it with enzymes, okay? So that's why the enzymes are with a meal, probiotic at night. ImmuPro, so this strengthens the immune system. It also will help you sleep because it's got a little splash of melatonin in it. It's got mushroom extracts and it's got strawberry, raspberry, wolfberry powders, zinc and selenium and copper, which are amazing for the immune system. But you don't want to take that with a probiotic. So that's why at bedtime, you either do the probiotic or you do ImmuPro, one or the other. All right. Now for oils, for people who like oils and not supplements, or you want to do the whole thing, essential oils in general are immune supportive because they oxygenate and transport the essential oil nutrients right into the cells and create an unfriendly environment for free radicals, which then helps the immune system. So thieves, I think we all know what thieves does. The history of thieves is fascinating. It's based on the ingredients in the Marseille vinegar from the 15th century. It's got clove, which has the highest antioxidant level. It's over 1 million ORAC. Blueberries are 2,000. Clove, 1 million. Blueberries, 2,000. Okay, I'll take clove. Clove is all about a healthy immune response. It has cinnamon, healthy immune response. It has lemon, healthy immune response. It has eucalyptus, healthy respiratory response. And it's got rosemary in it. I also like Exodus 2. Exodus 2 has very ancient botanicals in it. And I want you to think of what our ancestors did in medieval times. What did they use? Plants, herbs, and even oils. Okay, Exodus 2, amazing for the immune system. Oregano Vitality, high antioxidant level. It's got an ORAC of over 15,000. Historically, in ancient civilizations, it was used to balance the immune system, which is why it's in Inner Defense and ImmuPower. There you go. Longevity. All right, this has got thyme, orange, clove, and frankincense for immune support and overall wellness. And it'll support your body from the damaging effects of aging, diet, and environment. Okay, it's a really powerful boost to the body. And then orange helps your body increase production of glutathione. Glutathione is very important for the immune system. All right, there you go. That's what I like for the immune system. Now, what do I like for the respiratory system? All right, for supplements, in the morning or during the day, Rehimagen. A lot of people don't talk about Rehimagen. That is like a hidden gem in Young Living. It supports and cleanses and detoxes 7 body systems, including the respiratory system. All right. It's basically keeping your blood system, your circulatory system clean and happy. And when your blood is happy, doing well, your whole body is. Super C. So vitamin C moves mucus out of the body. That's why when you have a cold, everybody says, oh, take vitamin C, drink your orange juice. It just takes Super C. It also has cayenne pepper in it, which supports the circulatory system, which benefits the respiratory system. It also has zinc in it, which is beneficial to the respiratory system. I also like Super D. So most vitamin D supplements are from lanolin extracted from sheep wool. Young Living Super D is different and it's highly absorbable because it's sourced from sustainable lichen, which is a plant native to North America, Scandinavia, and Asia. This plant in nature absorbs vitamin D from the sun when it's growing. And we take that power of the sun and the sun infused vitamin D, and it infuses us. So it's very powerful. It's a very powerful form of vitamin D3. At nighttime, Thieves Chest Rub. Oh my gosh, that product is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I like how it comes in a little squeeze tube, so you don't have to get your hands all gooey. You can just rub it on. It's got thieves, it's got eucalyptus oils, because at night you want to have open airwaves. You want to have healthy breathing. Thieves Chest Rub is amazing. I also like Breathe Again. You know, massage that, rollerball that on your chest at night. You can put a little underneath your nose at night. It's got 4 different types of eucalyptus in it. It is a powerhouse. Our CBD Soothe rollerball. You know, CBD creates a healing entourage effect in the body. And then we added in the peppermint, copaiba, and eucalyptus oils. So it's very soothing to the respiratory system. I love that roll-on. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Lemongrass is amazing for respiratory support. I mean, it is energetically known for cleaning the air in our lungs, pulling negative emotions out of the lungs so that we can process them and release them. We store every emotion, every situation, every circumstance, everything that we have ever experienced in our life is stored at a cellular level in our body. This is what I teach in my energy classes. Over time, and as you age, you may feel like you have a lot of baggage, and it's because you do, because it's in your cells. The oils can start releasing that, and you're going to feel lighter. You know, if you're smelling a very, very deeply a pure essential oil, you're going to feel lighter. That's what it's doing. It's getting in at the cellular level and releasing. So lemongrass is another great oil for that. Frankincense, I've already talked about, works on the lung meridian to energetically release grief. I mean, we live in a world where every day there's something to grieve. Every single day. We're not immune from it, but we can protect ourselves. Frankincense is amazing. And I get this question a lot. Which eucalyptus should I use? It depends on what you want to use it for. I guess it just depends. So Eucalyptus globulus is the highest eucalyptol constituent. It's very bold, it's very rich, it's very earthy. It's the eucalyptus you're going to find in RC and orthosport. Eucalyptus radiata. This is lighter. It's kind of sharper. It has more of a citrus aroma, and it's preferred for children and by children because it's not as earthy and strong as globulus. That's the eucalyptus that's in Thieves and Raven and Orthoese. And then eucalyptus blue is a really good substitute if you don't have RC blend. Okay, it's more herbaceous and spicy. It's a warmer scent. It's in Breathe Again. So if you need to breathe again, eucalyptus blue all on its own. I have so many testimonials that are non-compliant about eucalyptus blue. Just that's a really good one to have. I mean, there's over 700 species of eucalyptus in the world. These are the powerhouses. All right, and this is my favorite trick to keep my sinuses happy. I take Exodus 2 or Egyptian gold. I put a drop on either end of a Q-tip, stick it up my nasal passage, swab my nasal passage, and it works wonders. I used to do that with Thieves, but every time I did it, I swear I saw my dead grandmother. It's like, holy moly. Exodus 2 or Egyptian gold are gentler and just as effective. All right. Your sinuses will thank you. All right. So if you are watching this and you're like, I got to get me some of these, whoever invited you to watch this, get with them so that they can help you order. If I invited you or if you found me, just contact me and I will help you get started. You know, these oils are amazing in what they can do for your health. I'm a real testament to that. It's why I've been using them for 10 years. And it's why I teach classes like this, because I absolutely believe, because I've experienced how they work for me and for my cats and for my 85-year-old father who uses the oils and, you know, still works full time. I mean, he's very energetic. All right. So as we get ready to wrap up, I want to tell you about some upcoming classes that are coming that you might want to take note of. But if you have not taken the oily crystal class, you can access it. You can access it and you can watch it at your leisure. It's 8 hours of content and a 70-page workbook. Oh my gosh, 70-page workbook. So I highly recommend that you take that. If you love your oils, if you love crystals or you're curious about crystals, that class is a master class for a reason. It is going to take you to a whole new level and really help you understand how the blending and the pairing is amazing. So, oh, Kathy, thank you for the testimonial. Yeah, that you highly recommend it. It is one of the best things I've ever created. It took me 2 years to create it. So I love it, love it, love it. And I hope you do too. All right. If you've been curious about my Sacred Shift group, this is an amazing group. We had our second meetup of February last night and had some amazing conversations. But if you're struggling with the energies in the world that we're living in, this is what we focus on. I help you interpret what is happening in the world so that you realize you're not going crazy. Our world, our energy, the Earth's frequency, we're influenced by everything and it's changing. We have to change with it. And I talk about all the ways to do that in the Sacred Shift. So lots and lots of tools, from essential oils to crystals to energy techniques to mindset techniques to food. I mean, I'm a certified health coach, so I share food recipes and we flow with the seasons. So just use, oh, I forgot to put the coupon code. It's 10 off, 10OFF, if you want to join us. Everybody has made such amazing strides to reach their highest potential. It's an amazing group. All right, here are my upcoming classes. So next Tuesday, I'm talking about essential oils for emotional wellness, and it's timely. If you know of anybody who is struggling with the mass shooting at Michigan State University on Monday night or any place else, I come at this as a former prosecutor who worked on a lot of gun violence cases, who worked on a lot of trauma, and I'm coming at it as an energy healer and an essential oil educator. So if you know anybody who is struggling, get them on that class next Tuesday, okay? I'm going to talk about some very powerful oils for emotional wellness. I always teach the Oily Pet a couple times a year. I got one coming up. So if you have not caught one of my Oily Pet classes, March 1st, 6:30 p.m. My online, I do a seasonal oily crystal class with each seasonal change. So at the spring equinox, I'm going to be talking about how to align with spring energies, with crystals, with oils, and my favorite blends. That's March 20th at 6:30 p.m. I'm going to talk about how to detox your home and life with essential oils, March 21st. I have a Healing Angels class, which is connected to the integrated energy therapy modality. This is in person on April 7th. So if you are in the area, if you want to learn how to connect with and receive messages, it's a beautiful class. We just literally meditate all day, and I share the crystals and the essential oils that connect with each angel. So it's an amazing class. If you haven't taken integrated energy therapy and you want to learn it, it is one of the most powerful energy healing, trauma releasing methods that I teach and have experienced. And that's coming up in April. And then I actually teach my basic crystal healing class this weekend. So registration is closed, but the classes come back in May. I teach them only 3 times a year. So if you can't catch it in May, it comes back in September. All right, that's what I got going on. So at this point, I'm going to stop the recording and take some questions from those of you who are here live. And for those who are watching the recording, thanks for joining in, and leave me a message if you have any questions.